Four teens in Washington state created an app to help women from out of state seeking abortions find housing. The girls who developed the platform were just 12 and 14 years old. It is a story that is raising concern among a number of pro-life groups, including EveryLife. And here to talk more about the story is Michael Seifert, co-founder of EveryLife. He is also the founder of Public Square, a conservative option to Amazon. Michael, great to be with you today. I'm curious, what went through your mind when you heard about this story?
Well, frankly, sadness. That was the first thing that I felt, because I recognized through this story how far our country has fallen. When I was 12 years old, I was making science experiments to display in the school gymnasium that looked like poorly made volcanoes out of paper mache. That's what we were focusing on. We were trying to figure out how you could have a potato power a clock. And yet now you have 12 and 14-year-old girls developing software that mimics Airbnb in order to help people get abortions. I mean, it's startling. At 12 years old, we weren't talking about abortion. We weren't focused on this issue. Our country had a broad recognition and value for life and the miracle of every life. And you wouldn't have dared to speak to your child, certainly other people's children, in a way that would confront that beauty of life. So I was sad more than anything else hearing this story. I think it's a wake-up call for everyone.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, I mean, these girls are so young, 12 and 14, that's middle school age. Do you think these girls even really understand the grave nature of abortion? And also, I mean, where do you think they're learning about this? Why would the school even allow it?
Well, it's a great question. I actually hold the adults responsible for this one, because you're right. At 12 and 14 years old, there's no way that you can understand the gravity of an issue like abortion. And by the way, you can tell that they don't understand the issue of abortion given their comments. When they were asked by reporters how they felt about this grand achievement, because they won an award for this app, they responded with things like, we're so happy to be able to provide women a choice. We're glad to be able to provide for girls' health care. They do not even seemingly understand that the abortion is the ending of an innocent life. It is not health care. It's the very opposite. But you know that they had adults that were cheering this behavior on and actually had even created incentive structure around promoting abortion. The reason they created this app initially was for a contest. They had a STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, competition where young people would create technology that they would submit in order to win cash prizes. So there were adults that sponsored this contest that encouraged these girls to make an app that funds and supports abortion, and then they received cash for making that app. The absolute audacity of adults to forward this project in that manner is startling.
Michael, what do you think this says, about our culture, that these girls so young would create a platform like this to essentially promote abortion?
Well, I think it says a few things, but most notably, it shows that the young generation is incredibly vulnerable to the messages that they are facing day in and day out through the education system, pop culture, entertainment, TikTok. If you're a 12-year-old today, it's very likely in the United States that you are hearing hyper-politicized, indoctrinating messaging throughout the course of your day from multiple entities that you're supposed to be able to trust. You're supposed to be able to trust your teachers. You're supposed to be able to trust the leaders in society. And yet, many of the leaders of our society have, filled with malicious intent, gone after the next generation in order to create future political pawns. Because what it says more than anything else is that our young generation is vulnerable. They are going to be the leaders of tomorrow. These 12 and 14-year-olds clearly are smart. They clearly have a lot of technological abilities. They clearly have an opportunity to do great things in this world. But if those in our society that want to cause harm, that want to lead to more abortions and more destruction, can co-opt that younger generation and all that energy and excitement for the future and utilize it for their political purposes, we have a dark road ahead. And so my big takeaway from this is, man, we really need to fight for the next generation. We really need to make sure that a culture of life is established amongst the next generation, and that we go back to the simple truths. That people are valuable, that life matters, that every life is a miracle. Those are the truths that adults need to be responsible for protecting and cherishing amongst the next generation. And I hope and pray that it happens more, especially as we see stories like this.
Yeah, and Michael, thank you so much for weighing in. We really appreciate it. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.